Hello everybody and happy Plantmas. My name is Annalise and this is my channel where we get planty with it. So I'm super excited because we've passed Thanksgiving. We're finally in December, which means the holiday season is really here. I absolutely love December. It's my favorite month of the year because of all the wonderful holidays in it, getting to spend time with family and friends, as well as my birthday. And so I decided for this month to celebrate, I wanted to partake in Plantmas. Now that has a lot of different meanings for different people. I know some people will do posts every single day, which I do not have the time to do, sadly, between school and work, but I decided I want to up how many videos I'm posting a week from 2 to 3. I'm also going to include some holiday content throughout the month, starting with today's video. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys are getting in the festive mood and doing some holiday things, and get excited for today's video. So obviously it's early December. We're getting ready to get gifts for friends and family for the holidays. And what better gifts to give than plants? If you're watching this video, I know you already love plants and probably already like to gift them. So I came up with a list of plants that I think would make great gifts. I split into two categories. So the first category is for people who are more on the beginner side, maybe don't have a lot of houseplants or only have a couple. So some easier care houseplants that still make a big statement and are a little bit more interesting than a pothos. And then I made a second list that was for people who are a little bit more seasoned with houseplants and maybe have been collecting for a little bit of time, but you want to add something new and exciting to their collection. Everything in the first category is definitely at a reasonable price point. You should be able to find it in a big box store or online for not too expensive. In the second category, the plants do get a little bit more pricey because they're a little more unique, but I tried to stay away from anything that was like too expensive, too rare, too hard to find, so you can still realistically get these plants for friends and family. So if that sounds fun and you want a little bit of gifting help this holiday season, then keep on watching. Also, I hope you guys like my backdrop. I finally finished setting it up in my holiday vibe. I have 2 garlands now and I have some lights. I thought the lights would be longer, but they don't, so they're just gonna kind of look decorative in that corner. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little festive. I'm wearing my red sweater for the holidays in a festive mood. Anyway, let's get into it. So I actually asked on my Instagram recently what types of plants people like gifting. So a lot of these are actually suggestions submitted by you. If you want to be included in polls like this in future videos, definitely follow me on Instagram because I ask questions like this quite often. But let's just jump into it with plants.
Sorry,
no,
I'm having
stop.
trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
So let's just jump into it with plants that would be good for someone who maybe is not so comfortable with plants and who's more of a beginner to houseplants. So first up was actually a suggestion I received multiple times, which is Syndopsis. Now I know there's an entire genus and there are so many types. What I assume people are meaning are kind of the more common types. So Syndopsis pictus argyrius. I have one right back here looking beautiful. Maybe a Syndopsis pictus exotica. Even the Trubii moonlight Syndopsis, those are all pretty easy to find now. They are all sold at Home Depot and you can find them in really big, beautiful hanging baskets. What I like about them is you can get somebody a big statement plant like in a hanging basket, but it's at a good price point and they're pretty easy to care for. Syndopsis especially will curl their leaves pretty clearly when they need water, and so any new houseplant person will be able to take care of them, and they just add a little bit more intrigue with the silvery foliage than a typical, plain green pothos or heartleaf philodendron. Both of those, by the way, are great plants to gift. I know I'm actually going to be gifting some heartleaf philodendron this season. I think one way to add some sentimentality to your gifts is actually take cuttings from your own plants. So when you're sharing them with people, you're like, this is actually from my plant, and now you have a piece of my plant in your house. So I'm definitely doing that with my heartleaf, but I wanted to make this list of plants that are a little bit different than that. Next up, this was an interesting suggestion from somebody. I actually don't have any of these, but I did a little research and they do seem like a really unique, cool plant. So someone recommended gifting a Haworthia. I'll insert a picture here because I don't have one. And they have a really unique look. Haworthia is a whole category of plants, so there's a lot of different types that you can find, but they have a similar kind of spiky look. They're giving kind of a succulent cactus vibe. And from what this person said, they're really easy to care for. They are a little bit of a slower grower, but they're just so unique and cool looking. So that can be a really cool gift for somebody, especially if they like kind of the more unique type of plants. Maybe they're not a huge fan of big foliage. This is kind of a cool statement plant that goes in a different direction. Next up, this one's super predictable and super classic, but I actually just picked one up last week for the first time ever, and that is a holiday cactus. So these are usually advertised as a Thanksgiving or a Christmas cactus. They also have Easter cactuses. This one's a Christmas cactus. And what's cool about it is every single year it'll bloom around Christmas time. Now, we just passed Thanksgiving and this guy, as you can see, is already blooming. So I think this might be more of a Thanksgiving cactus. But regardless, They bloom in the holiday season, which is really cool. They have ones that have different color blooms, and the foliage is just super cute. It's like very green, cactusy. I haven't had to water it yet, but when these little leaves wrinkle up, that's when I will water it. And they're super cute. I got this guy at Home Depot for $5, yeah, $4.98. And so I think that's a great deal if you want to give someone a cute gift. And then if you want to make this even cuter, this did come in this kind of metallic-y green wrapping, which could be cute. But if you want, you can get them a cheap planter. You can go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that's where I get a lot of my planters, and pot it up for them into a nicer planter. Probably change out the soil if you can. This soil is really not great and it's already getting moldy. So change out the soil, put it in a nice pot, and I think that makes a really nice gift that's very obviously holiday themed. Okay, next up is a Philodendron Birkin. So this plant was really popular about, I think, a year and a half ago, and then they became widely available in big box stores, and I feel like the hype died down a little bit, which I don't think it should have because it's an absolutely stunning plant. So this is our Birkin here. She's a big beauty, you can see. This plant does not stop growing. It's growing all the time. There's so many growth points. We put it in this cool white geometric planter that we got from Amazon. I think this really complements the white veining nicely, so that's something cool you can do when you pick out a plant for a friend. Try to pick a cool pot to complement it. But I think this is a great beginner plant. The leaves also, when they're thirsty, will curl up like that, so it's pretty straightforward, and it's just a little bit more interesting than a typical all green plant. I actually gifted a friend one of these, a smaller one I had, as a housewarming gift, and she has had only like one other plant in her life, and this one is thriving for her. She's doing so well with it. It's growing. She sends me picture updates, which is always fun to see. So I think this is a great plant to gift to kind of anybody. Okay, next up is another popular one that I know people like to gift, and that is a peace lily. So there are a few different types of peace lilies you can gift. The only one I have in my collection is a peace lily domino, which is basically a regular peace lily, but it has some of this white creamy variegation in the leaves. These are a little bit harder to find, but the regular peace lilies are very widely available. You can order them online very easily or find them in store, and I think they also make a great gift. You can get massive ones. The first one I had, I did kill it sadly, but the first one I had was really big, and I got it for probably $20, $25 off Amazon, and it made a really cool statement. It bloomed for me. It did really well for a while until I severely underwatered it. So with peace lilies, that's the one thing to note. They do like having a bit more water, but they are very vocal. When they're thirsty, the entire plant will droop extremely dramatically. This guy was fully drooped down yesterday. I watered it and it's back to normal, but they're great and they're vocal and they make a really cool statement. So if you have someone who likes bigger plants, a big leafy statement plant, I think a peace lily would be the way to go. And then finally, I had to include a Hoya. Now I know Hoya, how do I say this nicely? For people who are not into Hoya, I'm very into Hoya, but for people who are not into Hoya specifically or who do not collect houseplants, I know Hoya can be kind of unimpressive or not inspiring. I know when my boyfriend sees my Hoya, he's like, why are you so excited about this 2-leaf plant that does basically nothing and grows super slow? So I get that. I probably wouldn't get a very, rare, small, niche Hoya as a gift, but I think there are 2 Hoya that are a lot more popular and easy to find that would make great, great gifts. These 2 are basically from the same family, but this is the Hoya Crimson Princess. Now, in here I actually have 2 Hoya. This is a Crinkle 8 up top, but I also potted up with the Crimson Princess, and I just love this foliage. Look at that. It's so stunning. So I think the Crimson Princess is actually one of my favorite Hoya because the leaves are just so amazing. Look at the stems. The stems are literally pink. Like, that's crazy. And you can sometimes, I've never found one, but I've seen people find them, big 6-inch hanging baskets of Crimson Princess at Home Depot. I think that would be such a beautiful gift. I think, how could someone not love this foliage? And maybe it'll get them stuck on Hoya like I am, so that's always a plus. But I think this is a great one to gift. And then its counterpart is the Hoya Crimson Queen, which is this guy. So this guy has the white variegation on the outside, and the princess has the white variegation on the inside. This one I found in Chinatown for I think about like $20 or $30. It was about this size. It's grown a little bit. I do think for me the Crimson Princess has been growing faster, so I think I would recommend that one a little bit more, but both are really beautiful and I think would make stunning gifts. This is actually an example of a pot that I picked up at Marshalls. So you can see it has a pot and it has an attached saucer here. I think it's super cute if you have someone that's kind of into more of like a minimalist, neutral toned type of thing. This is a cute planter, and then you put a colorful plant in it. It looks super cute. It would make a super cute gift. Okay, so now moving along to gifts for people who maybe already collect houseplants. Obviously, this would probably not be a good list for somebody who already has like 200 plants because they likely would have these. Maybe someone who is just getting into the hobby and has about 10 or 20 plants and you want to help them expand their collection into new interesting plants. I have a couple of suggestions that shouldn't be too difficult to find or too expensive, but hopefully they would enjoy. So first off is a Calathea. Now, caveat, I know Calathea are very finicky. They need high humidity. You need to really be on top of watering. They're very needy. They're pest magnets. So I typically would not recommend Calathea as a gift, but I think this one is just so beautiful that if you know somebody maybe already has a Calathea and is doing well, or they really like Calathea, I think this is a good one to gift. So this is the Calathea Worshiwaki. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. And it's this beautiful velvet leaf Calathea. I mean, look at that foliage. That's stunning. So there's definitely some crisping on here. As you can see, like this leaf has some crispy edges. We're trying our best. It's never gonna be perfect, but the foliage is just so stunning. And when you don't look too closely, like from back here, this plant looks so gorgeous. I've also seen people who have really, really massive ones or like sitting on the floor with massive leaves. I think that's really beautiful. And they grow really quickly. You can see the new growth right there. I think there's another leaf coming in on this side over here. So maybe for somebody that you know is comfortable with Calatheas, but they don't have this one yet, I would recommend it because it's just so stunning. Okay, next up is another plant that I know a lot of people like, and that is the Philodendron Silver Sword. So I have a few of these around the house. This is just the one I picked up for now, but you can see this beautiful silvery foliage. Here is a leaf. A new leaf there. So this pot has a few different plants in it, so it's growing very compact, but they can grow really, really tall, and the mature leaf form looks so amazing. I'll insert a picture of what a mature leaf looks like. You can put these guys on a pole and they will attach and mature really easily. So I think this makes a great gift, one, because they're not too hard to find anymore since they've grown in popularity. They're pretty easy to grow. They grow pretty much like any other regular philodendron, but they're a little bit more unique and interesting than some of the other green philodendron just because of the beautiful like silvery tones. I think it's also kind of holiday-esque to have silver in your plants. I don't know, that's just what I think. Also, here's another pot that I got from Marshall's. Wow, is this turning into like a Marshall's ad? Marshall's, sponsor me. Anyway, just another example of a cute little pot. This one has more red and brown tones and it has a little attached saucer. So I just think these make great gifts because these are like $5 or $6 at Marshall's, and then you get a little plant, put it in there, package it up nicely in a bag with wrapping, and you're like, here. Okay, next up, I know in the first portion I mentioned Syndopsis, and so this is a specific type of Syndopsis that I think would make a great gift, and that is the Jade Satin. Now, I know these are a little bit more expensive, a little bit harder to find, but they're just as easy to care for as Syndopsis, and I think somebody who is into houseplants would really appreciate the foliage on this guy. Sometimes you can get silver on the leaves, like this leaf here has some beautiful silver on the tip, and some of the leaves are super deep green. This plant can be vining, it can climb. I'm just loving how full this pot looks right now. I wish it were bigger so I could take cuttings to give to people for the holidays, but unfortunately it's just not there yet. But I do think this would make a great, unique plant. And I don't know, the green tone is really giving holiday vibes for some reason. It's like a deeper green, which to me feels holiday-esque. Okay, next up, another fun philodendron that you can give a friend is the Philodendron Mayo Eye. So I really don't see people talk about this one a lot, and I don't know why, because I love it. It didn't grow so well for me. I had it in soil before. Was it in soil? Yeah, I had it in soil and it didn't grow for months. And I moved it to Leca, and within 1 month, it's put out 2 leaves. So try Leca. Anyway, look at this beautiful foliage. This leaf is so cool. This new leaf is coming out right here. You can see how cute it looks coming out. And these can get really big. I've seen ones where like one of these leaves like a foot across. So they can be really big and really a statement, but they're even cute when they're little and small like this. And they're pretty easy to grow. They are a crawling plant. As you can see, it's crawling along the leca down there. So that's something to consider. But I just think this makes a great gift. And I feel like because people don't really talk about it, most people probably don't have it. It might be a safe bet to give to somebody who already has a lot of plants but may not have this exact one. Okay, and then last but definitely not least, I know this is a favorite plant of many, many people, and I feel like recently only they've been dropping in price to like $50 and below, which I think gets into a more reasonable price for a gift, especially for a plant. And that is the Philodendron Gloriosum. Now mine's in the other room, so I'll include some B-roll of what it looks like, but the Gloriosum is just a stunner. It has the most beautiful heart-shaped, velvety, pillowy leaves, really all you could want in a plant. when the new leaves come out, the veining is this beautiful light pink color, and then over time it fades down to white. So if somebody doesn't have a Gloriosum, I think that is a great gift to give. If you have one, of course, you can take a cutting and propagate and give to a friend. For me, I think that's the best way to gift. If you can, propagate your plants and then share them, because then you're giving people a part of your collection. I think that adds so much to the gift. That's why my tip, start propagating in summer if you plan to give gifts in winter, just so plants have enough time to root up and start putting out new growth, so by the time winter comes, you have a lot of nice fuller plants to gift to your family and friends. I hope this video was helpful in sparking some ideas of plants that you can gift to your friends and family. It actually reminds me, I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but I forgot. I am planning a secret planta, like a secret Santa. Is that dumb? Maybe. But I'm planning a secret planta gift exchange on my Instagram. We already have quite a few participants. Basically how it works is you sign up, basically shoot me a DM, and I will send you the link to sign up. And then you will be randomly matched with somebody else in the plant community who signed up. You will send them a plant, cuttings, or some sort of planty item for a value of $25 or less. I don't want anyone to really be stressed out about the price of this. So ideally, you're just taking something that you already have in your collection and gifting it. I don't really want people to have to go out and stress about buying something new. But it's gonna be really fun because you're gonna get new plants. Even if it's a plant that you already have, you're gonna get to connect with new people in the plant community. And so I think it would be really fun. So if you're interested in joining the secret planta gift exchange, definitely follow me on Instagram. I recently posted about it, but you can just message me if you can't find the post and I will send you the sign up link. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. What are your favorite plants to gift friends and family? Comment down below. I think it really varies for every person, and I'd love to hear more suggestions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to be posting a little bit more frequently, and I hope you guys have a good week or weekend, whatever it is, and I will see you next time. Bye!